the main focus of the show is just to highlight the school. Like out here, I live in DC now, and so many people don't know about Cookman, what we offer, and I want to show how many like cool people, like dope people, like people that's out here really doing a lot in the world and showing from where they came from.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me What's Good. And today I got my boy Emanszn with me today. E, how you?
Yes, sir. Bro? Yes, sir. I'm good, man. Appreciate you having me on here. It's good to be on the other side, you know.
You feel me? So we gonna see how you react to it and how you settle in to not being a host of a show and answering questions. So
exactly, that's all right.
We can call it Cookman Archives. It's Bo Dilly Archives.
Bo Dilly Archives. I'm with it. Let's get it going then.
Let's get it. So look, you one of the legends at Cookman, bro. Like one of the most humblest, funniest people I've been around. Great spirit. Just 10 out of 10. You feel my boy? So coming in at Cookman, were you always that person people gravitated towards, or this was something that you kind of gained as you matriculated through Cookman?
It was definitely something. Well, originally, I guess my parents could say, or like my sister and them always said, I had like that spirit. It was fun, loving, always like life of the party type of thing. And I guess like once I got comfortable at Cookman with like the people I was around and stuff like that, I guess a lot more people saw it because I would always like mask it a little bit. Because if I didn't know you that well, I ain't trust you and nothing like that, then I would be like, oh, what's up, bro? You good? Yeah. But then if I'm around you or you around me enough to know and I'm comfortable with you, then that's how like just, I don't know. My mom them always said I had like this spirit of just people gravitating towards me and all that. But yeah, once I really went through Cookman and I got comfortable with everybody and the people, it definitely just was like full blown after that. Like I wasn't holding nothing back there, nothing like that. I wasn't masking anything.
So what you kind of like got out of that shell and just went all out full? Because at first you probably came Emmanuel when you became E-Man.
Oh, E-Man, yeah. Well, E-Man, it was just like a short part of my name. And my grandfather was the only person like in my family that would call me that. And later on, I think I had became like when I started really DJing, I want to say that was like 2016. And then I really could I had a hard time of finding a name. So I'm like, damn, what do I use? But I'm like, well, I always say like around my birthday, like, oh, it's E-Man season. So I'm like, well, I just use that. And then that's how like E-Man everybody just started calling me E-Man after that. Like certain people would call me that, but most people be like E or Emmanuel or something like that until I started DJing.
Well, that literally was my next question. You DJed around in school a lot. So you already told me the year because I was going to ask you, when did you start getting into DJing? But was that around the time you realized that was like a side passion for you? That was something you did before you got to Cookman?
Let's see. I told you. I said it was a certain time. Man, so I always like music. So I was really like heavy. Like I was one of them people that like 12 o'clock or whatever, I'm always on whatever's dropping. Like I'm online and all of that. And I know like around like 2015-ish, my friends had started like promoting in Chicago. And then they started, one of my friends, like my closest friend, had started DJing. And I would go and mess around on his little laptop or whatever whenever we would link up or I would go by their house. And I'm like, dang, this kind of like fun. So I'm messing around on it and all that. And then I remember my mom and them had wanted me to mix down some music for my sister's wedding. Like it was like a wedding video that was playing. And it was like, we just need to get the music down right. So I did it and it was really good. And I think that next Christmas, my mom bought me a board, which was like 2015 going into 2016 Christmas. And I went ahead and just started like immediately like started DJing after that, like full time, like doing it on the campus. Because I was like putting out mixes beforehand, but it was like stuff I was doing on the laptop. And going back and listen to it now, it was garbage. Oh, can I cut? I mean, the
Now
stuff was
you good.
garbage.
You good. It's called post-production for a reason.
Okay, yeah, my fault. The stuff was garbage though. So it was really garbage. And then I finally started like doing it and get comfortable. And I started learning like, what Cookman want to hear. Cause I really wasn't like from Florida, no way. So I was from Chicago, so I didn't really know. And I started learning, and then I just kept doing more and more and getting better and better and more comfortable in it. And then I think one party that really took me off was it was a Q party at it was at like the airport kinda, but it was in like a gym. And it was me and Hitman, and Hitman was doing another event. So I was like there by myself for a really long time. And this was a big party, like so many people showing up. So I'm over there like pee my pants. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Like, where Hitman at? Cause but I like really held down that crowd until he got there. And then after that, everybody seen like, oh, he can really like, okay, he can DJ for real.
Right.
And then after that, that's how like I just started getting a bunch of stuff, like SAV stuff, everything, like getting in people's face, like, okay, I could do this, I could do that. And that's just how it went.
So like you like you said, you started doing things around Cookman Campus. So was that like you threw a lot of crazy house parties, Like you had to go to E-Man parties in March. It was a must, So
Oh yeah.
would you say, I guess, doing parties like that and then doing the outside SAB stuff got you more to that point where it's like, okay, well, this might be something I might actually, you feel me, get me paid or, be something fun to do while I'm at college. Cause I don't know how often you may be DJing now post grad.
True, that's true. I don't do it as much now because I know it was just a lot going on. Like once you start really working and doing all this other stuff, you don't do this much. But I still love the DJ, man. It's always fun. I just did a wedding a couple weeks ago, but what point I really found out that I'm like, dang, I could like really make some money. Um, I just think that when it got to a point like so many people was reaching out. And at first I was like lowballing myself because it's like I wasn't that good yet, nor did I really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really know that much. So I'm like, I'm just trying to make a little money and then just get my name out there. And then I remember the point I really started making like a lot of money was when I had interned at the radio station. Cause I could talk about your event while I got on the radio. And then I'm like, that's why I really started selling that. Like, okay, well, like, unless it was a house party.
Right.
House parties was different because we would just throw those, and I don't think I would really make much money because I mean 9 times out of 10 it was at my house,
right.
So it wasn't really like like I was going to sleep cleaning up afterwards, so it wasn't nothing in that. But yeah, when I started really like doing stuff at the radio station, that's when I really started making like a decent amount of money where like it could last me, and I ain't really like need a job.
Right.
And it's college. So when my parents was helping me with the rent, all I had to do was just make sure I ate something. So it was decent enough, right? So yeah, that's pretty much when I'm trying to think of a certain point where I really made it really just started rolling. I would just say it was like fall of like 2016 or 2017. Yeah, fall of 2017 is when I really just started getting so much money. Like it was a lot of money. Yeah.
And it was great, just obviously to grow. Cause like I said, I came in with 2015. So to me, November, December of that year, then to see like, okay, well, we in the studio, 2K on the big screen in the studio. Then the next thing I'm like, damn, well, out here going crazy with the DJ. You feel me? Like that's major. So
For real.
You feel me, switch gears a little bit, now you on the other side of the podcast live type show thing. So on your Instagram, you do your own thing, which you call Cookman Archives. So what inspired you to start doing that? Or was it just like, maybe like you do it, especially when homecoming that just came up. So was it something like, okay, it's a homecoming or what have you, let me start doing that? It was just like, I know all these people, I'm that man type joint. So let's get all these people to tell these stories because we don't witness a lot at
man, Cookman Archives, it was low-key an idea I had for a long time. But I'm like, how can I pull it off with like all these people that live like so scattered around?
Right.
And then I was watching just a bunch of people like Fat Joe and all these people was having shows during quarantine and was chopping it up with people. And it was just on live, on Instagram Live. So I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then I just do the little Cookman thing. But I'm like, I want to interview a bunch of people in general, but I know like the audience that it could no, the guests could have been, I could have found them a lot more easier
Right.
from on Cookman side than anywhere else. Like each week I would have been like looking for artists or something like that. That would have been a lot. But I'm like, Cookman, I could just post up a thing, and we about to miss homecoming.
Right.
So it was really the main focus of the show was just to highlight the school. Like out here, I live in DC now, and so many people don't know about Cookman, what we offer. And I want to show how many like cool people, like dope people, like people that's out here really doing a lot in the world and showing from where they came from. So that was the whole point of it at the beginning. I just really wanted to highlight our school, highlight our people, and then now like I didn't think originally. I don't think nobody noticed, but originally the show was only supposed to be like 10 episodes. It
Right.
was just for the season of homecoming last year. But the show was like really popping, and people was like throwing milk on their butts and in the shower. It was all type of craziness.
I was
I'm
just
like, okay. So I kept it going.
Right.
And after that, it's just like now it's like a big show. Everybody look for it now.
That, like I
Yeah.
said, it's like I just showed the growth and just the amount of people that, cause I can only imagine your DMs with people trying to get on the show. Like, how was that with just trying to figure out and line up the right people or line up people in general for your archives?
Hey, yeah, that's true. Nah, it matters. It matters the interview though. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I interview somebody and they wilding the whole time or they showing out, then other people will see it and they be like, man, I'm waiting on my turn now.
Right.
And my DMs, like sometimes, especially at the beginning, my DMs was really like flooded sometimes. I'd be like, yo, like I just asked you a couple weeks ago, like, bro, you told me nah. Now you like, man, I'm ready whenever. This is what I want to talk about. And some people are like sending it to other people, like, bro, you should get on. And you'd be like, so and so Pudge told me that I should hit you up. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So the DMs be crazy. Sometimes it was overwhelming, but I also had to look at it like, oh, at least people are reaching out and want to be on here. So I kind of like it was easier for me sometimes,
Yeah.
especially when I go through a drought where I couldn't find nobody.
I mean, it's just all love at the end of the day. Like I said, people obviously love you and gravitate towards you. So it's to be able to talk about those prime years for you, I want to say what 2013 to 2017 that Cookman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be tripping. But like
No,
for
that was
me
right.
coming in young, I was just experiencing or trying to experience the life. So to hear the stories, some of the stories, like, okay, well, I ain't even know that happened or that went on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, dang, I wish I came to come in a little earlier. You know what I mean? So now
No, seriously.
it's
That's
just
how I be feeling like, dang, I missed that.
and then like I said, you even branched out to where it's not even solely with stories. Like you have people just getting people telling their story. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily wild moments or what's the craziest thing you experienced at Cookman. It's more so like, okay, well, you branching out to different things. That's big shout out, big kudos to you for that for sure.
No, I appreciate it. Cause it'd be cool to see people like tell how they started doing something at Cookman and now it's like a full career. You know what I'm saying? Or it started how they was down bad and they were terrible at Cookman, didn't finish or something like that. But they learned something and now they're like sprouting somewhere else. So that's what I always think is the best part of the show.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We just had homecoming a couple weeks ago, and I see
Yeah.
a video you surfaced on Twitter, last night, 2 nights ago. So what was it like to be back in Daytona? What was your experience a couple weeks ago at homecoming?
It was good to be back out there, man. I think, everybody really needed just a good turn up. And I ain't had like a good turn up in a minute, you know what I'm saying? Where it was just all your peoples was in there. It was nothing but love, no bad vibes. People went out there fighting and doing all that other stuff. It was just good to be back on the campus. It felt good. It was good to see a bunch of people. Some of my favorite professors. I saw Mr. Shaw out there in the choir. We chopped it up with him. And I mean, some of the events, they got delayed or canceled and all that because of the rain and the weather. So it kind of threw me off the first few days, but I know that Saturday was crazy. Saturday was insane, boy. And it wasn't too hot for once. It wasn't raining. The parking wasn't crazy. That's what I said. Tailgate doing it like this year. They out there with food. I mean, they always have food, but this year people was putting their foot in it. Sometimes the chicken be looking dry. Nah, this year chicken was burnt, crispy. That's all I'm like, hold on, tailgate. But it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Would you say it went crazy? Because like I was at work during the day party. So would you say it went crazy? Tailgate went crazy all because of the day party getting rained out the day before?
I think so. It was like some really built up aggression and turn up that them people need to let loose. Yeah. And they was waiting on that because a lot of people made it to the day party, but then it just like was raining so bad they turned them around. So yeah, and then everybody was just trying to find stuff to do after that. And I mean, that didn't work at all. But it only rained. The thing about the day party that sucked though is that it only rained for like maybe like 3 hours of the day party. And the day party was going to like 7 or 8 or something like that. And it started at 2. But I know by the time 4:30 or like 5 o'clock hit, we was good. But I mean, it didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense at all.
Definitely.
So yeah, no, but I think it was because everything got canceled. That tailgate, they had to go crazy.
Definitely. So I'm gonna, like I said, we flipping the script on you. So I'm gonna ask you, what was your wildest or most controversial moment at Cookman? You ask this question, you ask these kind of things to people.
Yeah, that's
so you in the seat now. So what was that moment?
Dang, I'm in a seat. My wildest, most controversial moments at Cookman. I never really got into too much drama. Dang, that's a good question. I don't know. And then now I see why people be like, I used to get upset on the show, like, dang, how you don't know? Like, it's got to be something. But I'm trying to think. I mean, I've been like super drunk a lot on campus.
I think I'm about to find that infamous
wildest, most controversial.
I think I'm about to find that infamous picture of you on a quad with the book bag on with the head.
Oh yeah, but see, the thing about that picture is I wasn't even like, I don't think I was anything that day. I think I left professional seminar and I went to class and I think I like got an A on some test or something that I was like stressing about. I was just lit. I might have been on something though. I'm trying to remember, but I had sunglasses on. I never really wear sunglasses, so I don't know what I was tripping on that day. But I think I was super sober that day because I just came from class.
Right.
So I just went up there and I was dressed up and then I was just like cranking. And I think Scrappy just caught the picture at the perfect timing. Is he was Scrappy? Was it Scrappy? Yeah, it was Scrappy. And this was Scrappy first started like doing photography too. So like he caught that and then I had posted when I had ran for homecoming. That was my flight. So that picture's legendary. So I don't know. I ain't get to too much controversy. We ain't had some crazy nights. I would have to like really sit down and think.
Right. So like I guess to get away from that, like when you that picture, so you ran from the homecoming course, was that year after or was it that year that you ran for Mr. Homecoming?
No, that was the year after. I did that. Like that picture I think was taken because I still had a lot of hair at the time.
That's why you got the video on, y'all. You're not trying to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. This stuff is rough. I had did. Yeah, that was like fall of 2017 when I ran, and that picture was taken in that spring.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like at something election day or something like that. And I had ran. I don't know where I really ran. I think it was just people kept telling me to do it. And then the year before, KJ had lost, but it was like a really bogus loss for real. It was bogus as hell, actually. So I was like, nah, I gotta get my revenge for my dog. And yeah. So no, it was good though. I enjoyed being homecoming king, man, and going around and actually running for something. That was cool. That was
Like
fun. I enjoyed that.
you said, you're out in DC. So what led you out there to DC? And after
Um, really, originally, I had an internship, and it was at a little like online radio station where we basically was like the engineers and producers of every show on there. Like, so local people, like known people in like the neighborhood, they'll come up there, and pastors, all type of people that's like, borderline famous. They'll come up there, try to do a show, and we'll engineer it, put it up on like Facebook Live, Instagram, all that type of stuff. And I think I did that from like September 2018 to like August 2019. So it was basically basically a year.
right.
And yeah, basically maybe September 2019. So it was a year I did that. And I wasn't really like making a lot of money, but it was really good experience and something different because they would send us out to like Wizards games and stuff like that to like kind of report on that.
Right.
But you had to be super aggressive to be in their faces about like getting a question. And I kind of learned a lot about journalism from that internship. So it was good. I learned a lot from it. But I wasn't really making much. I was making like $100. So at the time I was I had went out to eat with one of my cousins, and he had hooked me up with a job at the school. And basically I was just helping him out, like take pictures and all of that. And I was just doing that on certain days. And I would go to my internship. But they reached out and they wanted me to be full time, but it was more like a tennis role, like truancy, making like sure kids coming to class, doing what they got to do, staying in class, not walking the hall, stuff like that. And because they said I did well with just like how I was relating to the students. When I'm like half of these students, I'm only like a couple years older than like the oldest kids in there, I was like 4 or 5 years older than them for real. So I could still relate to them. Not that I still can right now, but it was different. Like I was right there with them, and they pulled me on full time. So I ended up like quitting the internship, which I mean I think it was good. Like I did a year, I learned a lot from it, but it was just I didn't have a car at the time, and it was a lot of back and forth. Like I couldn't do both, right? And I would be at work all day, and then I would come there at night, and then I would stay there till like 9 at night, and I just was wiped out, and I was barely like making any bread for real. I was on the train late, and then Ubers was crazy. It was raining. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was just wild. So that's how I ended up really out here.
So
Yeah,
that,
that's pretty much it. So I've been here since. That was like 2018.
so that role with teaching is more so that attendance role, or do you have a different role now within your position at the school?
No, I still got that same position. Um, so yeah, now like beforehand, I was really like under a lot of people, but now I'm like, I guess I'm the lead or senior truancy, whatever now. But yeah, it's still the same position. I've been working with a lot of kids, just trying to make sure they just staying on track. Like, cause like in college, I used to be the latest person on earth to anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's ironic how like the person that's usually almost late to work or is late to work
Yeah,
is trying to make sure the kids is coming to school on time. But nah, I just try to make sure, like, once I'm in there, man, I try to make sure they just staying in class because it's so many hall walkers. And we got so many kids with like ADHD for real that just can't sit still and need to go in the hallway. And some kids just think they just at a social. And I try to like heavy incentivize kids, make sure, like, bro, if you do this, like a couple weeks ago, I mean, I just did something with like 4 boys, and I'm like, hey, y'all stay in class, y'all get here on time every day this week. I'm gonna come check in with y'all last block. I'll get y'all Popeye.
Right.
And they like, nah, you ain't I don't know if we can do all that. I'm like, man, just keep going. So I kept checking in with them. They was coming on time, they was staying in class, they wasn't hall walking as much.
Right.
Because even I will go around and check on them, and yeah, they on track, man. I mean, for that week, we don't know like about this week. So, but just trying to make sure, like, get them a little motivation to be like, okay, let me get that Popeye and let me go to class. So I get that Popeyes at the end of the week or whatever. So yeah, just small stuff like that. But it really worked though.
So do you see yourself in that role for a while, or are you actively looking for like something else, like what you're trying to do? Because it was Mass Calm, so I don't know necessarily remember exactly what you were going, for, like career wise for. So I know for sure you was DJing. So tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do, like career wise.
Career wise, for sure. I know for sure that I want to talk, right?
Right.
And this was just, you always got to find something that you want to do that you enjoy doing while you trying to still get that ultimate goal or reach that main goal, right? So this is something that was cool. I was doing. I'm making a decent amount of money. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do this for now. And I'm helping some kids, which I think is just dope. You know what I'm saying? Especially the future. And they all Black kids for real. Maybe like a few Hispanics or something like that, but that's it. So I mean, my main goal, I want to talk. I want to be on the radio or podcasting something. And I feel like, nowadays, we getting away from the radio. So now that's why I'm just trying to like push and learn. That was another reason I really made Cook My Archives, was to really be able to learn how to interview.
Right.
Cause I feel like we didn't really sit down at school and really learn that for real. And it's not something you can really learn. It's just you got to jump in and do it. Okay. So I mean, with Cook My Archives, I learned that so many people got different personalities. And how do you handle this? Like you could get a person, and you'll learn this too. You'll get a person that you think is so cool, have done so much, and they will get on your show and be like, yeah, and you asking them like, hey, so, tell us about the time you and your grandma fell off the block or something. Y'all fell. And it'd be like, they could have told you the story, like hilarious, like weeks before that, or even when y'all was like setting up the interview. And then they'll get up there like, me and grandma was doing this. And you like, what the? Like, come on now, give me something now. Like, keep going. Be like, yeah, that was crazy what me and grandma did. But I don't know. I really want to, I'm getting off track, but I really do want to talk. I want to be on the radio. I want to, and I know that like I put in a lot of hours when I was at the radio stations and at these internships, and I'm good at that stuff. So I know that my time will come. I think a lot of it, I think God has placed me in a certain point right now because I wasn't mature enough for, like, let's say I got a job straight out of college, and it was at a radio station. I probably would have screwed that up immediately. Yeah, in some way. You know what I'm saying? Because then ego could be a thing, or my time management or my organization or just my professionalism. I learned a lot of professionalism ever since I got out here. So I know my time is coming. That's why it's all about with media. You got to learn that you got to create your own thing and being consistent. And, then, I mean, people, you got to, keep networking, get in people's face, talk to people, connect with people. Because I learned everybody in media knows each other or knows somebody, right? And if you talk to that right person, maybe they don't have the opportunity for you, but they might know somebody that does. So that's why I keep talking to people like, hey, I do a show on this and that. And once you got content, it don't matter. I saw a quote recently, and it was more about like, just use what you can, right? Like, you jumping on here, you doing Zoom. You get what I'm saying? You're using what you can. You sitting up here just chopping it up with people. But people love to hear people talk. People love to hear people's stories. So that's all I want to do. I want to talk. I want to talk.
That's why I looked at the Cut Archives. I was like, dang, I don't think I could ever be on Cut Archives. I ain't really have too many wild experiences. I ain't really do nothing crazy. I used to chill low key in the cut. So like, I want to be on it, but it's like, I ain't really do too much. You know what I mean? So I was like, when Zoe was on, I was like, okay, well, that's cool. That's different. I think a lot of people learn more about her because, like I said, I don't really too much. I know of her. I had a class more so as a person. I don't really know her. So it's like, to be able to see somebody get, vulnerable on the show, I'm like, well, dang, okay, well, man, Brett, you're not. You feel me doing things a little differently. So that's what I thought, you feel me, with Cookman Archives. I was like, yeah, you just have to be one of the ones that's one of the GOATs at Cookman, had the experience and I had the fun and knew all the people. So now, like I said, it's a big kudos for sure. But that was the whole point of this too, is just to give back to, the people our age, young adults our age, because I don't know who may need whatever somebody's talking about. You know what I mean? So
Right.
just be able to
Exactly.
give you gems, give you something to just, okay, we'll feel good about. I think that's what we are,
Yeah.
especially with everybody trying to find their niche and get into where they're going. Because the same thing with you trying to get into your field and your career. That's the same thing with me. That was another purpose of this, was like, okay, keep getting the content out. While I'm
Exactly.
trying to get there, to I show people how versatile I am, that I'm not only just trying to talk sports, but I can talk everything else. I can host the interview. I can maintain the conversation. So that was
Exactly.
focus, so we
Yeah,
on
man. And you could do both. You could do this and then still do your little sports. You know what I'm saying? Talking about that on the side, like, man, Miami doing this and that.
Right.
And I see so many people now. I know you love a lot of teams, but I know there's certain teams that you like. Every player, every stat that I'm sitting. You could post a 10-minute video every time, every game or something, And I know you could do that. Like,
well, that's fact. Like I said, we sit in the studio and talk sports. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Do that now.
Man.
We sitting on the outside now. Like I said, I'm on the Twitter and the gram. Hey, Chicago looking good right now. So like it feels good. You know what I mean? So
it does, man. I'm telling you.
The same
Finally.
thing. You know what I mean? So like I said, right now the Braves in the World Series. So I'm 8:00. I'm watching the game. So I'm trying to see one of my teams win the chip. So
exactly.
Good year. Tampa got one. Atlanta trying to get one. Maybe the Heat.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Hey, the Heat look nice, man, but they don't look nice as the 4-0 Chicago Bulls.
Y'all schedule go crazy. Like y'all next 16 games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got Knicks, Philly, Timber.
I'm like,
tough schedule, bro. Like y'all had the first one. Okay, that's cool. But y'all next 16, it's tough.
It's tough, definitely. And I think I don't think Philly is that good. I watched them last night against the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks are like either. They got some offensive problems, but I don't want to go deep into it. But
they play good.
I know that like once we go out west, it's gonna get bad.
Right.
It's gonna get really bad. Yeah. Because we're gonna be out west. Golden State is hooping like Golden State again. The Lakers starting to get momentum. The Clippers, they still play defense like crazy. They hustlers. They getting into you. But hey man, we got Caruso. You know what I'm saying? We got Zach LaVine. These cats is ready. So the only thing I think that we have an issue with is we just too small, and we're really undersized. And I know when we play some people like Joel Embiid and like these big dudes like Joker, they gonna cook us. AD, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what happens.
That's good though. You got humility with your squad. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And they gonna go in and win every night. No,
yeah.
Like I say,
I believe that. I just,
like I would
I don't know. I didn't think we would be this good defensively. Right. And we've been pretty good defensively to be a smaller squad. So we'll see what happens.
Nah, I think that's just the evolution of the game. Like the same thing.
Yeah.
Damn, ain't none, but 6'9".
That's true.
Like we truly don't really have like that big. That's AD, MB. It's kind of slowly working its way out the game. You got your bigs, even with Joker and MB, and them boys pulling up from 30, bro. Like
that's true.
Boys doing this, so it's kind of slowly getting the way out the game to where you can stay. Your bigs be outside the rim, so small ball is cool because anybody just sitting there posting up every time they touch the rock.
Exactly. They're not doing that no more. That's true. That's a fact. Yeah.
I can take the advantage of or the luxury of Embiid. He might miss this jumper. Yeah, his jumper cold, mid-range, but he just might miss it. Joker
might miss that, yeah.
Versus them going in the paint, backing the little big down, that's 2 points every time. So it's just the way the game going. So y'all might be solid out west because it's just Vucevic is, I think I said it right. Vucevic is that's a solid bid. He can shoot too. So DeRozan changed.
Yeah. I love, man. I didn't know, like, how there's always, we get new players, but a player I really like now, man, is Lonzo.
Yeah.
I never really, we would watch Lonzo, but I'd be like, yeah, he cool, you know what I'm saying? But his dad, all you hear is his dad. And it's not like I was an LA fan, so I didn't watch like every game and nothing like that. But I really wanted him to be good. And just to see how he is defensively, how he pushed the ball. This dude Lonzo.
But see,
Lonzo was cold.
Lonzo doing everything that they wanted Ben Simmons to do. Lonzo fixed that jumper.
Yeah, he
Lonzo
did.
improving his game. That's just to get better. I ain't here to talk about the Ben Simmons situation, but that's just what you do in the league. You get better every season. So that's all he did.
Exactly.
Lonzo had an ugly jumper. That boy fixed that jumper. Now that boy shooting, you feel me, real decent from beyond the three. And that goes along with his defensive, you feel me, powers, you feel me. That boy steal the ball, assist the ball, set people up. So that's what
exactly.
you do. And then to bring Caruso do the same thing off the bench, that bounce too. White man can jump. You feel me? So it's like y'all solid. Y'all solid for sure.
Nah, yeah, they definitely good, man. So I'm excited. It's just good to see them being good. That's all. That's what I just be doing the most.
Yeah, nah, you got to. You got to until you're wrong. Like I said, that same thing with the Hurricanes, bro. I'm gonna talk my mess because we won, but when we lose again,
right, then I'm saying nothing.
that's it. You know what I mean?
Right. So, scratching my head like, dang, all right, we'll take that one. So
definitely. So, like I said, I mean, I appreciate you coming on. You know, you said you DJ the wedding, so I don't know. I'm gonna give you all the choices now. So whenever my time comes to get married, you got the option to DJ the wedding, get paid, or enjoy the wedding. So I mean, you gonna get back into DJing.
It's your way, man. It's up to you. You know, I got you though, for sure.
I mean, but it's your experience. You feel me? Like we don't talk. Well, we don't have to communicate conversation in the studio. Like, look, I ain't trying to work nobody's wedding. I'm trying to enjoy it. So I ain't gonna.
Yeah, that's true. Nah, that's true.
I ain't gonna force nobody. If you DJ, you is gonna eat. We ain't gonna do you like no. They did that photographer, bro. You gonna eat,
man, bro.
You gonna eat. You know what
I
mean?
They be doing people wrong, or they give them the little calves on the side sandwich where they give you a little chip and a cookie on the side like that.
Nah, like
tuna and all that.
Nah, I feel more comfortable paying y'all than paying somebody random. So that option
is
true. Y'all politely decline. Nah, I just want to enjoy it. Say less. We'll get another square to get a wedding. You know what I mean?
Nah, I got you though, man. Yeah, you let me know when. It sounds like you about to set something up soon. So
I mean, we got to get in this career. And soon we get in this career, you feel me? Invites.
You make it happen.
RSVP, so I know what's going on. You know, I'm gonna give y'all time for sure. It's gonna be in Florida, so you feel me? Y'all gonna come back. You gonna see Palm Beach one time for the one time.
Yeah.
So I mean, God willing, I'm thinking next year or two. You know, so we shall see.
That's good, dog. Hey, man.
We shall
set it off, bro. That's good.
I got
That's good.
I got you.
It's that time, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody know when it's time. So that's all I got to say on that.
I ain't getting married. Your time coming. So like once again, everybody, this is Emanszn season. One of the livest days I know, one of the most livest people I know. You know, we might have them on 15, 20 episodes down the road. We're gonna see how it go.
Hey, we could do it again, man.
For sure. So
especially when the Bulls get the first seed or something. That's what
we'll talk. We'll talk what quarter season, end of the quarter, see what's going on.
No, for real. Yeah, probably by March or something.
Most definitely. Now we definitely can do that. Most definitely.
All right, bro. Now I appreciate you.
It's always, bro. It's all love, my boy.
All right, then.